sort of on the same theme, Kenny Omega is talking about his relationship with CM Punk, which sort of raises more questions, really. So during his latest Twitch stream, Kenny Omega was asked about his relationship with CM
Okay, I
Punk.
want you to explain to me. What is Twitch? What is it?
Twitch is a platform primarily for gamers. So, I mean, you don't have to be a gamer.
Gay people.
Gay people are welcome, I'm sure, as much as anyone else. And
I'm going there today.
Yeah, you play a game, and then you live stream the game, and then you live stream yourself talking at the same time, and then people give you money, I guess, if you're popular enough.
Mm-hmm.
So Kenny Omega's quite a well-known game streamer, Twitcher. Well, not a Twitcher, because that's bird watching, but a Twitch streamer. Anyway, Kenny Omega was asked about his relationship with CM Punk, and he said, the status with CM Punk right now, I don't know, it's just mutual respect. We reached out to each other. I can't really think of anyone that I dislike or have any issue with, or an issue with, especially an issue with wrestling.
Has he met me?
Have you met Kenny?
No.
Fair enough then. Well,
because that answer would be different if he'd met me. I would go out of my way to piss him off.
How would you do it?
I don't know. I'd keep working. And finally I'd reach that little sensitive point. I'd say, oh, I see it now. Then he'd come after me like he would be just so mad at me, and then of course I would take off. And what would I do? I would run. I'd run away. Yeah.
On the back of Jack Swagger. So you'd be like,
yeah, I would. Yeah, hey, Jack really was a great protector of me, by the way.
Well, there you go. He's an AEW as well, so you could just roll up to an AEW show.
Is he still there?
Jack is.
You never see Jack.
Oh no, he's in witness protection. They've given him he used to have a purple hat. They've given him like a red hat now, so that you can't recognize him. Continue with the Kenny Omega bit. So he says, no issue with anyone in wrestling, especially it's not like, hey, we're good now. We were never bad. Honestly, if it weren't for a complete other factor, we would have been able to have that talk on the night of Brawl Out. There's no issue between him and I, as far as I know. Omega laughed. I don't think there is at all. And they said there's another thing too, guys. I don't want to seem standoffish or secretive about what happened. Yes, there are legalities and all that stuff, but even if there wasn't, and I know this is going to sound weird because I've done a lot of comedy stuff in wrestling, but I'm actually a huge fan of not a huge fan of pulling back the curtain on stuff that doesn't need to be out in public. So even if he could talk about Brawl Out, he wouldn't. But it's a weird thing to wonder where.
And now he's talking about Brawl Out.
Well, not the specifics of the evening, but basically he's never had an issue with CM Punk, according to him. So Kenny Omega doesn't have an issue with Punk or anyone. CM Punk said that he was willing to talk to the Young Bucks at All In Wembley, and they refused a meeting or around that time. So is it the Young Bucks that's caused all this then?
No, I think Punk's done his fair share. But he never really got on. He would get on the Bucks. But who was the guy just talking about him?
Adam Page. Oh, Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega. He never really got on Kenny much. He must like Kenny. Now he got on Page because I think Page would be if he could he'd stir it up. But then again, you see, what is the boss for? The boss should take issues like that and defuse them, de-escalate whatever's going on, because, the internet's going to pick up anything, but the internet doesn't have to pick up anything at all when the guys are willingly putting it out there. That's their job. That's how they make money. They report on rumors or rumors of rumors. That's how they work. So, I think Page and the whole story about him, I heard, I don't know if this is true, but now I think it's the truth, that some people are trying to help him. Some older guys or experienced guys would try to help him, and he'd say, I don't need any help. And he refused the help from a veteran, which I think pisses almost everybody off. Why would you even refuse it Well, you can refuse it. That's his prerogative. He can refuse it, but to publicly dictate that he doesn't want it, I know enough, so I don't need to know it. That's like, it's like an insult after the guy tried to help you, or saying, "No, nah, your work's the shits anyway, so I don't need to take anything from you." And just for that, I don't know, but I think the whole thing was blown out of proportion. Of course, I think Tony Khan doing it in the first place, talking about it, then releasing this footage. Did he get a rating out of it?
That's a good question. Off the top of my head, I think the rating jumped on that segment to like 888,000. Then the next segment lost. I think after 2 segments, they'd lost well over 100,000. So people did tune in for that, and then they dropped out again.
Mm-hmm. Well, but the ones that tuned in were disappointed.
I think the real thing will be what this week's Dynamite rating is. I think that's going to be the one that's really going to be interesting.
Okay, if they drop this is my belief. If they dropped out right after it, I don't think they're going to be coming back after they saw how it was nothing. It was a no factor. It was a nothing burger, as they say.
Do you know what I think? Is that most people will have done what I did and just wait for the footage itself to be released on social media the next day.
That's a damn good idea.
Because like if you're only tuning in for 1 minute's worth of security camera footage, you're not going to... Most people aren't going to watch Dynamite to see it. They'll just wait until someone posts it.
Okay, what is the highest rating they've ever had on Dynamite?
The first ever
it went over 1 million, didn't it?
The first ever episode was 1.4 million.
I predicted close to that. I said it'll be 1,250,000 to 1.5 million. I mean, that give me a 250,000 person buffer. And then from then on, it drops, and it did. Same way when I was with TNA, when we would have a decent rating to start off with, and it took months and months and months to even get it there. But will it stay? I used to keep telling them, guys, that's a great rating, but how many is going to come back and tune back in? Oh, we got them now. I said, you think? Well, we'll see next week. It was like, it just bottoms out.